Can you believe this, dude? Wake up! Wake up!
What, Trace? What?
Suns must win. That's what. Psychos and sickos unite for an I'm the only one in my pajamas edition of the PHNX Suns
I got
pregame
something
show.
for you later.
I don't like how that sounds.
I gotta put on my PJs after pregame. You know.
Well, I'm in the Sunsy, and you're here for the PHNX Suns pregame show presented by Gila River Resorts and Casinos. You do you. At Gila River Resorts and Casinos, visit playatgila.com for more details. It is late. I'm Eric. That's Steven. That's Espo. We got the Freckle Mamba behind the Mac making all the magic happen. The Suns are on national television, but all it takes is for us to tip off probably at 9:15 tonight, folks.
Probably.
By
the way, I want to answer, I think it was John Garaby's question here. Joe, excuse me. Yes, I can confirm Devin Booker is going to debut the Book 2s tonight in the game in Nike's backyard on national television. And I'd imagine there's probably a commercial that'll drop. I don't know that for 100%, but he will be wearing the shoes this evening.
Boom. Espo dropping the news off the bat before we get into previewing what's going to be a pretty big game for the Suns tonight as they take on the Portland Trail Blazers, another team currently in the play-in in the Western Conference, an on-the-road game for the Suns where they have struggled so far this season. I want to give a shout-out to somebody who's in chat pretty much every single day for every single show. It's Sean's birthday today.
Happy birthday, Sean.
Happy birthday to Sean. Big shout out to Sean and all the members who are in our chat right now, like Deborah, like Russell, like Kara, like AZBG. We appreciate all of you. Aaron in here as well. Drop your favorite emojis in chat as the Phoenix Suns look to bounce back after their first loss in quite some time. Steven, how are you feeling generally about Suns Trailblazers national television on a Tuesday night?
This is going to be probably a nasty game.
How so?
I say that because Portland is a team with a lot of pride. Even with the injuries that they have a ton of young athletes and they have a specific brand of basketball that they play to, especially at home. And they're going to bring it. And it starts with old friend of the Suns in Toumani Camara setting that tone and then resetting that tone and then resetting it again. So the Suns better come with it as far as energy, as far as execution, because you can look at the numbers all you want. This Portland team plays hard, and that's something that's going to give you more than a chance every night.
So what you're saying is they go all in, they don't show their hand, and they like to gamble a little bit, huh?
I said none of those things.
In today's sports climate,
leave that alone for me.
I mean,
it's time to get into our Bet365 picks presented by Bet365.
That was a dice roll from you, Espo.
Hey, there we go. Well, let's not show our cards too early.
Big ups to you over there. So.
Oh, man, that was a big shot you just took at him. Wow. Look, Steven, I think one thing that I'm excited for tonight is it is really the start of this long stretch for the Suns against Western Conference teams that are going to be in playoff and play-in contention. Portland is a really good defensive team. This is now a string of teams the Suns have faced, including the Mavericks and the Hawks, who present unique defensive challenges. What should Suns fans be watching for on the other side of the ball? Maybe if they see the Suns struggling a bit tonight.
Yeah, we can go ahead and pull up the graphic, Ayrton. You start with their defense and specifically them being number one in the league in terms of how far up the floor they're picking up opponents. That's the number. I think that's the fourth number at the bottom, towards the bottom. Looking at them being first in pickup percentage in the backcourt. In terms of feet away from the basket, they're at like 52 feet on average. How far away from the rim that they're picking up their opponents. So that pressure is steady and it's consistent across all their lineups that they use. But it starts with Toumani Camara. And I think that part is important because he's genuinely one of the best defenders in the league. He's hellacious. I think what we saw with Devin and everything that Atlanta was doing in the most recent game is going to be something that he can take to a different level because he's just as good off the ball, which he's underrated at this point, as he is on the ball. And I know the Suns better come with it as far as the turnovers and the lack of sharp decision-making that we saw in that fourth quarter of last game, because if they see even a remnant of that service in this game, this is a team that's one of the best in the league with points off turnovers because of the pressure they apply.
The interesting thing, though, is unlike Atlanta, this Portland team has struggled over the last 5 games. They're 1-4. Mm-hmm. In the same time, the Suns are 4-1. The Suns are, I believe, second in net rating over that time, and Portland has struggled in that time. So your hope is you're meeting them at kind of the right point right now, where maybe they're not feeling as confident. Maybe you can find some holes in that defensive armor that they wear and kind of find a way to put some points on the board.
You would hope so. However, over the last 5 games, you want to know one thing that all those games have had in common? What? They've been on the road. Lost to the Heat, lost to the Magic, win at Pelicans, lost to the Rockets, lost to the Mavericks. Now, they did allow a lot of points in that road trip, so that is definitely something to watch out for, because Portland was a team last year that really hung their hat on their defensive identity, and they have some good individual defensive players. We'll get to the injury report here in a second. I just want to point out the game before that road trip started, they beat the Oklahoma City Thunder. Right, so this is a team that can hit really high highs, especially when they were at home, which they were against the Thunder. And the Suns are still one of those teams in the NBA that have a big disparity between their home and their road record, Steven. This is a great test for the Suns and a great chance for them to show how resilient they can be following a 47-point fourth quarter on Sunday.
Yeah, well, I mean, yes, they beat Oklahoma City, which most teams can't do. They've also beat the Warriors. They've also beat the Denver Nuggets. That's not a team that, even if they are without players like Blake Wesley and players like Drew Holiday, players like Matisse Thybulle, obviously defensive-minded guys that add to all the numbers that I just showed, they still have a certain standard that they meet even without those guys. And that's why I just caution that the Suns have to be sharp in this game, because any of that slippage, this could be, especially back at home, a team that can test you in ways that they shouldn't be if you handle your business accordingly.
Well, and you can't have a game like Royce had the other night. You can't have him come out and not shoot well, because I think the key is going to be anytime you get a good look, you're going to have to hit it tonight, because
it's going to be hard to come across.
Yep, exactly. So anytime you do, you got to take advantage of it. You can't have a guy 1 for 9 out there. You can't shoot 17% from deep and hope you're going to find your way back into this against a very good defensive team, a smart defensive team. So you got to hit your open looks and hit them early, because I think if you get put in a hole in this game, there's not going to be coming back from it.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Look, Portland is a team that had a little bit of higher expectations coming into the year after ending last season so strong. Now they are dealing with some injuries that again, we'll go here in a second and talk about. But just to paint a little bit more of a picture before we dive specifically into this game, right now the Suns are the 7th seed in the Western Conference at 8-6. That is a full game behind the Minnesota Timberwolves, who are 9-5 for an actual playoff spot. Golden State is 9-7, so technically tied with the Suns, but played more games. They're underneath the 8th seed. I'm not exactly sure why they're at the 8th seed, considering the Golden State Warriors have the head-to-head, but that's how ESPN has it. At number 9 is the Trailblazers.
Are we really looking at...
I'm just saying.
It's
look,
November 18th,
I get that, and I knew you were going to say that, but here's my response. When you look at how many games separated all these teams in the West last year, head-to-head tiebreakers are going to be massive. Realistically, Phoenix and Portland will end up somewhere close to each other in the standings this year if they play like we expect both teams to play throughout the rest of the year. A head-to-head matchup, and especially one on the road, if the Suns can get this one, that'd be pretty big for them, and it might pay dividends down the road.
That's fair. At that point is fair, that these two teams likely will be close to each other. So these will be important. I'm not scoreboard watching yet, but I understand where we're going on that front for sure, because yes, in all likelihood, at least in that play-in tail end of the playoffs, that it's going to be a very close race. I think the top of the West is going to separate more this year, but I think the back half is going to be jockeying for position all year long.
Yeah, and that's why you got to handle your business early in the season. I think they've done themselves a good solid with some of the wins they've gotten, but the work just barely got started with the schedule ahead.
Yeah, I mean, look, the schedule ahead is brutal. We talked about it on yesterday's show. That show's still pretty evergreen, even after tonight. So if you want something to tide you over tomorrow on our off day, go back and watch Monday's show. Let's get into our injury report, of course, presented by our friends over at the Husband and Wife Law Team. If you've had a serious injury, call the Husband and Wife Law Team first at 602-783-8841 or visit their website at husbandandwifelawteam.com. For the Suns, no Jalen Green, still out. We don't expect him back for quite some time. Grayson Allen missing his second straight game with a right quad contusion on that white quad.
It is white too.
For the Blazers, lots of injuries. Scoot Henderson out. Matisse Thybulle out. Blake Wesley out. Of course, Damian Lillard out. Drew Holiday out. And Jeremy Grant, a late addition to the injury report with an illness. He is also out. Steven, out of that long list on the Blazers side of things, which one of those players being out might give the Suns the most advantage?
Drew Holiday for me. And it's not just the defense. He's been scoring the ball and doing so very well for this Portland Trail Blazers team. Him not being available in tandem with them not having his kind of veteran presence on the defensive end makes it a little easier for the Suns to navigate, because it's not that the Blazers can't replicate the size and the pressure that he applies, but it's different when it's that guy. He's cut from a certain cloth of blue-collar guys in the history of the league that just hits different when he's there. He's there, Dillon Brooks, in certain ways.
Yeah, I think Jeremy Grant for me, that's an offensive engine that they've utilized at times. I think that is going to be helpful for the Suns that he's not out there tonight, a late scratch due to illness. Hopefully that can help the Suns prevent the Blazers from scoring too much and take more pressure off your offense to have some big number tonight.
A little bit earlier, somebody said both of these teams just fight, right? So if the Suns had a long injury report, we would expect them to do what? Step up and fight. This Portland team's going to do the same. They've played bad the last 5 games with a returning home. The atmosphere should be electric. Of course, this is an NBC game, so it's national television. Guys sometimes get up for those a little bit more. Speaking of getting up, let's get to our super chats. Let's start with Be Calm, See Clearly.
Speaking of getting up, all right, go ahead.
Yeah, $2 from Be Calm, See Clearly. Put that snatch on them. Salute. Go Suns.
Steven's getting uncomfortable now. Just wait till our post-game show at 12:30 a.m.
I'm going to get loopy.
All bets are off when I start making
worried.
Jokes then.
I'm worried for
Lonnie with a $1.99 super chat says Mohawk Booker from 3 tonight. Of course, Book is in the starting lineup. Espo, it's the same.
I would hope so.
It's the same starting 5 that we got before. It is, of course, Devin Booker, Dillon Brooks, Ryan Dunn, Royce O'Neal, Mark Williams. Fellas, how are we feeling about this starting 5 after we saw it for the first time last game against Atlanta?
I'll let you know after tonight.
Okay.
If Royce has that same kind of game, I'm gonna have all sorts of thoughts if it plays out similar to that. But it's a tough defensive lineup that you're going against, and they still got a lot of scoring power on the Portland side with Advia and Sharp. So this starting 5 is going to have their hands full tonight.
Yeah, they got to bring it with their activity. They need to be forcing this Blazers team to play the game on the terms the Suns want them to play too. So if they handle their business accordingly there, again, I kind of keep reiterating the same thing. This should be one that they can go and get and do so comfortably. I just don't know if they're going to come out with the tone that they need to set because of the ways that Portland plays at home.
Can I address? Aiden's had some good comments tonight.
Address Aiden.
So Aiden says earlier in the chat that he hopes Toumani Camara has a bad game, basically for Aiden's own mentals. So I agree.
Yeah, does that bother you still?
I mean, anytime you see the guy succeeding, you go, "What the hell did James Jones do?"
Traded him.
I mean, because he was the one holding the wheel still then, so I'm gonna blame him for it. And then Aiden also saying, can we talk about this insane start time? Yeah, screw you, NBC, for whatever the hell this is, because this is post-game time right now. And I haven't even had to catch the tail end of Tom and Tom and watch this game yet. And we're gonna be doing pregame or postgame in the wee hours of the morning.
You're already going senile.
Some of us have an 11 a.m. show tomorrow too. Thanks, NBC.
Well, look, I always appreciate a chance to break out the Sunsie. This is one of my favorite things to wear. I think that this just brings a whole new energy for me. And I wore it for not only the fact that it is a late night game, that is a national television game, but for me, this is almost as SMW to the max as we could possibly get. Let's go ahead.
That just sounds dirty when you say it while wearing PJs.
Listen, let's get to the Suns must-win meter for tonight's game. Wow! I don't look at these until we get live. This is by far and away our highest SMW of the season. I'm going with a 10. Espo, you're at an 8. Steven at a 7.5. Fellas, it's good to see you in the red.
I was gonna go 9, and I pulled back. I pulled back a bit because if Grayson had played, this was a full-on 9.5 for me.
Okay.
You have to win this. This is one out of the next 13 that if you're going to get close to that 500 or a couple games under, like I think you need to be, you have to win this game. So this is an 8. This is high on the Suns must win.
I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you.
I don't know why.
Welcome to the red, brother.
Anyways.
Why is it so high for you, Steven? I mean, I'm a little shocked.
I mean, it's less about Portland, though them being withered the way that they are means that the Suns should go handle their business, but it's what happened last game for me. You can't allow for similar things to persist. This is the first time we saw some of those instances in fourth quarter's game against Atlanta kind of surface for them. So it's about showing that those are anomalies and those aren't things to keep an eye on going forward because, again, any of that stuff happens in any of these next 10 or 11 games, and that's pretty much an automatic loss. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they come out and how sharp their execution level is.
Would you say it's a gotta have it then?
No, I didn't say that.
But okay, so where in the must-win meter is the gotta have it line?
I mean, like a 9.
Okay. I'm learning.
Wouldn't 10 be a gotta have it?
No, gotta have it comes before must-win.
Oh, so okay, fine. I'm at a would be really, 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 really nice to have it tonight. That's what an 8 is for me. Somebody else said in the chat, it feels like there's higher expectations now and they don't like it.
Okay.
I don't think that's what this is for me. I think you're
it's
on Portland's level, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you should beat them. Is where I'm at.
You got to judge it off of what they're showing to be. They've shown to be a better team than Portland so far this season. Obviously, Portland's been even more injured than the Suns, but context matters with it. They got a laundry list of names on there. You have 2 meaningful players not available, but the breadth of the rest of your roster is available, and most of them have been clicking the last couple of games. So go handle your business.
I think tonight tells a lot about the Suns. Like you mentioned, Steven, it's a response. A 47-point fourth quarter is unacceptable in any of the 82 games, even if it's an early one. Blowing a 20-point lead in the fourth quarter, even though in the modern NBA, 20-point leads aren't that great. Like, they're not as good as they were in the 90s or even in that 2000s era. Look, that's still blowing a 20-point lead in the fourth quarter, right? These are things that, as a team, you need to prove that you can flush and move on. So if you can get past this, it's at least the Suns must compete. A Suns must be in it until the very end. And if Portland just ends up being the better team, you have given yourself a little bit of breathing room with the win streak that you had off before. But like we mentioned, every game is important in the Western Conference, especially against teams that you are going to realistically be next to in the conference. That, for me, is what bumped it up to a 10 from a 9.5-ish.
I love that we're like splitting hairs. It's a Suns must look really good, but if they lose by 1 to 6 points, it's okay. But you get an extra 2 points because it's a 9 p.m. start. Like we're like really, really specific in why we feel like.
I think the SMW meter has sparked some fantastic conversations here.
I'm not denying that it has. I love the little distinctions that we're putting in it along the way.
Look, speaking of distinctions, Steven always gives us 3 distinct keys for the Suns to win the game. Steven, what do you have for game number 15?
Yeah, ball security. The Suns have to be a team that's winning that turnover margin. Keeping their turnovers down, forcing their opponents into a multitude of them on the other end of the floor is going to be very important, especially against this Portland team. If you're not giving them opportunities in transition and off of turnovers, their half-court offense is not the best at all, bottom third of the league. Keep them where they're having to work against your set defense. You're in good shape. Key number 2, Get to your offensive triggers efficiently and make good decisions out of that. So if you want to go get paint touches, fine. Make sure you're making good decisions off of 2 feet from there. Obviously, if you're running any of your offense, you want to make sure you're staying sharp with that as well. Again, it's not going to be comfortable based off the defensive numbers I showed earlier. And then number 3 is just being disciplined on the glass, defending without fouling, and containing the basketball. If you're taking away those extra opportunities for Portland, who's a top 10 offensive rebound rate team, again, where are they going to find their offense without Drew Holiday and Jeremy Grant and all those other guys? So shrink those margins, win them, and dictate the terms of the game. You should be in good shape.
Yeah, and I think that matchup between Klingon and Williams is a key one tonight. Aiden said it in the chat that, Mark is up against a young guy in Klingon who's good but still young. Mm-hmm. I think this is where Mark needs to show that he knows the game a little bit more, control the boards. Hopefully his teammates can find him down low tonight and he can get some easy buckets as well, where he didn't have that the other night. They need him this evening.
Yeah, Mark's had a couple of games where he's had a lower stat line, but it felt like his impact still went beyond that. I would say last game was the first time that I felt like there was a good amount left to be desired from his performance. It'll be nice to see how he responds, like you mentioned earlier, Espo, how Royce O'Neal responds. If just a couple of guys get their offense going a little bit better than last game, they're in a much different position, especially if the bench mob steps up again like they did last game. Colin Gillespie, Jordan Goodwin, Oso Iguodaro, all of that is going to be really exciting to watch to see if they can sustain, maybe not obviously as big of a run as what they made before, but that same energy, Steven, and have that type of impact maybe in a shorter stint, but just as impactful.
Yeah, I think they just need to come out and be focused from the start. Very business-like approach is what I would like to see in this one. Come out, put up 35 to 40 points in the first quarter. Let it be known that we're playing this on our terms and we're not going to allow for things to weigh and wither too much within this one.
Mark in the chat says, Steven, Eric, and Espo, all caps, how the heck are you guys doing tonight? How the heck are you doing?
I need another damn coffee. I've been here since 9 a.m. I need more coffee and caffeine. I need that right now.
Steven, how the heck are you doing tonight?
Espo, you sound like a fiend, my guy.
Y'all got any more of that Circle K coffee?
I'm gonna be 42 in 2 weeks, man. This is late. This is late.
Don't steal Sean's birthday shine.
He could just say, somebody give me an apple or something. Like you said, it went straight to the hardcore caffeine.
No, what do you?
I got an apple right over there.
It's not like I said, hey, somebody put some lines on the table. I really need a jolt.
Hey,
here.
now we're talking 80
Suns. Caffeine. Like, Look, man, I could do some radishes, which are like nature's Red Bull, right? But I'm like, no, I need the caffeine right now to make it to our late show tonight.
Okay.
And yes, Bo Dirt, this is how Eric always dresses. He needs the trap door in the back.
There is no trap door in the back. Everything you want's on the other side of hard. Even if you need to go to the bathroom.
Whoa!
Cut his mic off.
I'll talk loud enough. The other mics pick me up. I don't always dress like this, but I'm not gonna lie. I feel really good wearing this onesie. Like I might have to turn this into a regular thing. Do we have another 9 p.m. tip off this season?
No, I don't think so.
Damn it!
Wow.
Mark says, Espo, you're a spring chicken.
Yeah, just leave it alone. Leave it alone.
Steven, I don't even know.
Leave it alone.
Should we just do the post game like he's not in between us, just talking
I'm still waiting to hear, Steven, how the heck are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. I'm looking forward to this game. Contrary to Aiden's comments, I'm not asleep. I'm very much locked in for this game. I'm wide awake.
That's what I like
Michigan
to hear.
State just won right before I pulled up to the office, too. We blew out Kentucky. I'm in a great mood right now.
Do you think – sorry, we're off the rails already. Who the hell cares?
Speaking of rails, when do you need to wake up?
Do we think –
It's late night PHNX Suns pregame.
Do we think that Matt Ishby and Devin Booker had a little friendly gentleman's wager on that game tonight? And does Devin come out pissed because he just lost that?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably the latter part where I'm sure there were conversations had. If Kobe Bryant was around, he would have been involved as well. Yeah, that was not a pretty game from Kentucky at all.
No.
Yeah.
Book's gonna come out a little pissed off and maybe try to make a point and then show off those shoes.
Sean says Eric was the same neighbor on the street when you went to head out during or donning the Sunsie. So during the last time I wore this, which was our 5 a.m. watch along, the first game in Macau, I get out of my apartment at like 4 a.m. and I'm like, I'm not going to see anybody. And I walk out, and right in front is just this lady walking her dog, and she's looking at me like, what the hell? And I just go, hey, how are you? And I get in my car. No, there was nobody else there. Somebody did see me in the parking garage, but nobody saw me tonight. Hey, what's up, Melissa? Shout out, Melissa. Just became
a member.
That's huge. Drop the SMW emoji in chat.
But what pulled her in was the Bape Suns jerseys that they announced over the weekend.
I like that.
She said verbatim that she's now a Suns fan.
Huge. So, you're a Bulls fan. She's a Suns fan. Everything is coming full circle.
How that happened.
Mark's hype like Beavis and Butthead.
Oh, God. Let's go ahead and get into our pregame picks.
We got to do the MVP chant for the members, though. So
MVP. 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 You go, Melissa.
Let's get into our pregame picks presented by our friends over at Bet365. Sign up, use code PHNX365, deposit 10, place a bet for 5, get $150 in bonus bets. If your bet wins or loses, bonus bets can be used on spreads, totals, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 plus and physically located in Arizona. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP, text NEXT-STEP to 52342 or visit promgambling.az.gov. Let's take a look at the standings real quick here.
Why? I mean, nobody
we're both steadily climbing down, brother.
This is the saddest.
This is not the saddest we've seen. We've seen much worse.
You know that guy that on Price is Right, he climbs up the mountain? We're sliding backwards down the mountain. It's not pretty.
You're at a negative 70.
Yeah, it's not pretty.
I'm at a positive 42. I was at like a positive 100 something at one point. So, it's going down. But that changes tonight with what I'm putting my money on. Give me a nice, simple 3-leg parlay. If Toumani Camara's going to maybe cook my team, I'd like to not feel as jaded about it. So I'm taking his over 22.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I got Dillon Brooks over 24.5 points, rebounds, and assists the way that he's scoring. That might end up being just in points. And then I got Devin Booker to record a double-double. I think some of those threes do fall tonight for the Suns, leading to a couple more assists. I got a plus 1,100 with a 30% profit boost thanks to our friends over at Bet365.
You should lose just for taking the Toumani portion of that, you freaking traitor. All right?
Not a traitor.
I don't remember if I have Toumani in my bet to be... quite frank, so me tippy for my Cornholio. They said it was a bad impression. I had to double down on it. What's my bet tonight? Yeah, that's right. Ryan Dunn plus 10 points. Donovan Clingan plus 10 points. Jordan Goodwin plus 10 points for a plus 1,400. Yeah, Donovan Clingan wasn't drafted by the Suns and traded away, and then everybody had to watch him become a good player.
You're rooting for the real enemy. At least I'm rooting for a former Sun. That's all I'm saying.
No, I'm rooting to win some credits here. That's
some credits. Look, what does Bet365 have as the line for tonight? The Suns +2 on the spread, +110 on the money line on the road. Portland -130, -2 on the spread. Basically, usually sportsbooks give about 2 points for home court advantage. This is about as much of a toss-up as the books would like to say that they could be.
Dead even.
But what about what we think happens tonight? Let's round things out with our score predictions. Drop your score predictions below. Oh, let's talk about Mr. Trader over here. Somebody's picking the Portland Trailblazers 119-115. It ain't me. It ain't Steven. Steven, you got 119-108. I got 108-105.
I felt like I needed to, give a reverse jinx tonight. So 119-115 Blazers is what I got.
Pretty confident, Steven.
Yeah, I think this is, again, a game that they should go and handle their business in. Portland hasn't been having the most fun trying to score the basketball with all of the injuries they have, and they added a new name to that list in Jeremy Grant right before we went live. So I just don't know if I see them being able to put up enough with the ways that the Suns have defended when they've been locked in. So I think the Suns are going to probably score one of their highest numbers on the road this season, excluding that road game against Utah where it went to overtime, and they should win comfortably.
Yeah. If you're wondering, I keep seeing the PJ questions. Yeah, I will have my PJs on for post game. I got to get ready for bed right after the first quarter, maybe halftime.
You're just going to be asleep for our entire post game show, and Steve and I are just going to be talking back and forth while you're asleep in that chair.
Eric loves you too, Megan.
I do.
He tells me all the time.
I already typed it in the chat.
He tells me all the time.
You're damn right.
He said the onesie's just for you.
That's it. Everything
and for
I do.
Steven.
Everything I do is for
me. It definitely ain't for me.
I know you love the onesie.
Yeah, definitely
And
not.
it's the Sunsie.
Not even a little bit.
You love the Sunsie.
If
You were
you-
looking for it. You texted me, said, Eric, I can't wait to see the Sunsie today.
If you think this is nuts, just wait for the post-game show.
Well, look, hopefully you guys are up for the post-game show. I want to give a big shout-out to everybody out on the East Coast who's still joining us for the pre-game show. If you sickos are with us for the post-game show, we would appreciate it. If not, it'll be there for you in the morning. In the meantime, on the way out of here, do a couple of things. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button, especially if you're new around here. Post-game shows for every single Suns game, plus watch-alongs for about 1 or 2 games per week. And just hit that subscribe button. Become a member today, like Melissa became a member. Get access to all the exclusive Suns emojis as well. Let's get out of here. Bye.
We all silly like the mayor.